I'm Justin Talent, and this is go ahead and introduce yourself.
Grant Stober.
And you play a lot of euchre, and you like to analyze a lot of hands. I've seen
Hey.
some of your videos before, and so you've played a lot of euchre 3D, right? And you're what, like top 20 or something in euchre 3D?
Yeah, right now I'm top 14, I think, maybe top 17. The number fluctuates a little bit based on how much people play, but yeah, it's out of about 70,000, so you could say I've studied.
Nice, nice. So the site that we're on right now is an app that I built called Euchre.Club, and reason I built it is because I want ad-free euchre and I want more features in E3D. It's not in any of the app stores yet. It will be eventually Android first and then iOS. But if you just go to Euchre.Club, it works on a phone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at some recorded games, and Pineapples is gonna analyze some of the hands and give me some tips.
Yep, just to clarify, my username that I go by in game is I like pineapples, so happy to be called either.
Username is I like pineapples. We're looking at a game. This is a game that I played with my family. Cutie Pie is my sister. Fast Cars, Tim, my stepdad, and Bonanza is my mom. I'm just gonna step through it
Go for
myself
it.
and just stop me anytime you want.
Okay, that was a mistake there.
Okay, well, so let's go back. So just to see the mistake. So like I picked it up.
Yep, good pickup.
I discard. I've got three
Good.
hearts, two
Yep,
diamonds. Pretty good hand.
great discard. That right there. So in this situation, seat one doesn't have any defense at all except for their ace, and they want to be getting you to burn Trump for as little cost to them as possible without, I guess, trying to play a lottery by throwing a low card there. So the best card lead for them is going to be the ace of clubs, just to communicate to their partner as well that they don't need to take it. There's some discussion about false kinging, so playing your king when you have the king ace connected because they're the same value. But if you do that, it tells your partner, hey, you need to trump this. But this lead is kind of a lottery, so you don't want to be doing this.
Yeah, it's kind of like fishing or something, right? Like you're just going fishing for a card.
Yeah,
And
well,
yeah,
ultimately you
go
only
ahead.
have the information about the hand that's in front of you and what dealer picked up. So you want to be playing your strongest card to lead out here, unless you think that you have a shot at euchering somebody, in which case you can get into some funky leads and talk about something different. But generally, when you have an ace in your hand, you want to be thinking about leading it.
Yeah, and there's more clubs and spades theoretically on the table because of when you make a color trump, you increase one and you decrease of the
Well,
other
more
suit.
more clubs than diamonds, yes. So there are going to be
Yeah.
six clubs total. I mean, you can't really include the kitty in any kind of calculations. You never know what's down there, so you just have to go on the base amount of cards in the game. And when you make hearts trump, it makes seven hearts on the table, five diamonds because it pulls the jack of diamonds into the heart suit, and then there's going to be six clubs and six spades. So leading a diamond here is especially bad. I think if you're going to go for a low lead, you should be leading your spade.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, the ace of clubs, right? Because it's a what's considered a green ace since it's not the color of trump. There should be plenty of clubs out there, decreasing the odds that you get trumped, right? So he leads the 10 of diamonds. My sister trumps in with ace of hearts, and then my mom trumps over it with the jack of hearts. And I just throw off. Well, I follow
Okay,
suit.
so let's pause in the jack of hearts there too. In seat three's position, they have the right bower plus another trump card, and they're sitting on an ace in spades. And based on what seat one led, they can infer that clubs is like they might have a winner in clubs later in the hand. So you're looking at your hand and you've got three suits covered, including the trump suit. You don't know what dealer picked up on, but they do get a discard, so generally their hand is going to be a little bit stronger, probably three trump or some high cards. But since seat three has the right bower, they know that dealer doesn't have the right bower, right? So in my mind, even when seat two takes that first trick, seat three is still going to want to try to play for a euchre, and they're going to be getting a trick in the hand regardless. So I would hold on to the right bower and just throw off a low spade there to see if you can trump in with your nine later to get value out of both of those cards. But let's see what he leads after he takes this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a good play. Throw off and then suck up trump from me with the right later. That's a good point. So she's leading ace of spades.
Yep,
Just
reasonable.
stop me anytime. What do you think about this?
I think it's solid. I mean, you could make an argument for leading the nine of hearts here, but I think there's less argument for it when dealer picks up. If C2 ordered up, I would be leading the nine of hearts after taking with the right. But since dealer picked up, I think the ace is fine. If anything, actually, the only thing that you might really argue there is maybe leading the king instead of the ace, so dealers may be a little bit tempted to duck underneath it. But I mean, obviously, in this case, being able to see every hand on the table, dealer would never duck under it, regardless of what C2 or C3 leads here. So,
And what do you mean by duck under it?
so ducking is throwing off one of your bad cards in order to allow your partner to help you take a trick. So there's certain spots in which that's really viable, but this hand specifically, just looking at what dealer picked up on, you kind of have to take it and lead trump as early as you possibly can because there's so many cards over the trump that you have in your hand, and you're holding an off ace, so you want to be able to make that as safe for yourself as possible. But yeah, so sometimes you can run into situations where dealer is tempted to throw off if you lead a card that's lower than an ace, especially if they're all connected like this. Like if I had ace, king, queen connected from seat 3, I would lead my queen instead of my ace, just to kind of lie to the dealer and be like, yeah, somebody else might take this, so you can think about throwing a bad card off if you want. But in reality, I've still got it,
Okay.
right?
Okay, so then that trick and then king of hearts lead.
Yep, reasonable.
Okay, next trick.
Yep. I wouldn't have led the queen there.
No.
Sometimes your ace of diamonds is as good as a trump card, and you haven't seen the left bower played, so is still a card over top of your queen. And sometimes seat 3 can be hiding information here, like ducking your king in order for you to throw this queen here so that they can take it and get the lead back.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
then
always
that
going to
ruins my
happen.
ace.
Yep, it's not always going to happen. It's pretty rare, but the ace is definitely safer to lead out than trump, just because you do know that there's one trump card left on the table and it is over your queen. We don't have the
And I
information
would
about what's in the kitty, but
You're totally right. And you know what? I usually do that. Like I don't go as far as some people like Lenny, who I think tracks kind of like how much is left of every card. I only track in my head how many what trumps are out there. So normally you're
yeah.
right. Like I would have played my ace of diamonds here because then if they play the left, I don't care. They take it. My queen's good. Here, if I threw the queen and they had the left, then let's say he has the left instead of the king of clubs. He throws that, and then he leads his ace, and my ace is no good, and we got euchred, right?
Yep. And just as a note, after the hand is played out, just look what happened here because seat 1 didn't lead out their ace on first trick. Seat 2 did have a club in their hand, and seat 3 had the right bower +1, so they could have thrown off a bad spade in trick 1 if their partner had let out the ace. And then when you played another heart later in the hand, he gets to take it with his right and then lead out his own ace, and they actually have a shot to euchre you here. It was
Yeah.
because seat 1 let out a bad card on trick 1 that they had no opportunity to get back into this hand.
And so that goes into how important leads are, right?
Yep. I think a
All
big thing
right,
to think
so
about always is what you're leading and why you're doing it. Because if you're just picking cards, then it's not going to work out for you in the long run.
yeah. Okay, here we are with the next hand. I'll just cycle through it until you stop me.
Great order.
Okay,
Good.
so I want to
Fantastic
go over
lead.
what's going on. So
Yeah.
she led the left. Okay. And why
Wait,
is that
who?
good that she led the left?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who ordered this? Did seat 1 order this? Oh, they did. Okay, I take back what I said. Really, really bad order.
Okay, so she orders the nine of clubs and she's sitting on ace king. Yeah, that is pretty risky.
Terrible,
She's got
terrible
the left
order.
too.
Yeah.
Ace king left,
So
you don't order that?
no. So there's some theory behind this, and without going into like a super long exposition about next and reverse next and defining those terms, seat one is sitting on a great spades hand, and they're sitting on a mediocre clubs hand. So if they call spades, then they have the right bower plus the queen, and then an off ace king connected in a short suit, no less. So they have extra value for drawing trump cards off of the table.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're in seat one and your hand is reasonably good for a shot at a euchre, you can play for 2 points here, hoping that somebody else orders it up. And if seat one had passed, look at seat two's hand. They're ordering this up every time. And then they'll play it out the exact same way. And seat one has a chance to get 2 points here. And if they didn't get 2 points, then really they only lost one. So really they're playing for +1 -2 instead of +2 -1. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. Completely agree now that you mention it. So essentially, they they have an okay hand, but they have a good next hand, and they have a decent shot at a euchre. So it's like you're basically either looking at like let's see if they order it, and then we'll euchre them, or if they don't, I get to make it spades because I'm the first to act after the dealer turns it down.
Yep.
And in this
That's
situation, we
basically.
would have been really lucky because I had a really strong hand in spades too. So next would have been great.
Yep. Yep, it would have run the table for sure. And if they call spades, they lead the right, which takes seat two's only trump, and it shows that dealer is void, and then you get to just play the hand out however you want, basically. So yeah,
Hmm.
really questionable order from seat one there. I would pass on that every time. It's borderline alone in spades with that hand strength, so there's not really a reason to call clubs here.
Okay, good analysis on that one. So now with all that said, knowing that now we're playing clubs here, what do you think
Good
about this
lead on a
lead?
clubs call. If you've decided to play clubs already, you've got three of the highest trump and you've got really bad offsuits. So you want to strip trump from the table and hope that your partner can help you out in an offsuit. So I do like that lead. Um, let's see how that one plays out for him though, because I don't think this is about to end well for your team.
Okay, so left is led, right over trumps. I just throw
You
off a nine.
So you show void, and you throw off your worst card, and dealer throws off the card that they were ordered, but they're always going to do that because it's the nine, so it's the lowest trump, and that gives you virtually no information about what's in their hand. So no information gained here, but good play from C1.
Okay, so ace of hearts, ten of diamonds.
I like that. Yep. So here, actually, if you rewind a little bit, if I'm going to be nitpicky on mistakes, go back one more. Back to the beginning of trick 3 or trick 2. There we go. You threw off the 10 of spades when it came back around to you, and I would not have done that because diamonds, like your jack of diamonds, isn't worth anything. Kings are half points. If the ace of spades is buried, you can sneak a trick with it. So you want to hold on to your best cards here, and the king 10 is your best shot of getting any kind of a trick for your partner because that jack is never winning anything. So when your partner leads back to you here, you throw off the jack. And at that point, they've also seen you discard 10 jack of diamonds. So they should know don't lead diamonds because my partner does not have it covered.
So we're here, and then
Yeah, nothing you can do from this point out.
yeah, then we got Euclid. So yeah, you're right. Next definitely would have been better.
Yep. So just to clarify, next is the same color suit that was already passed on in round one. So if spades is passed on, then clubs is next. And reverse next is either suit of the opposite color. So in that case, diamonds and hearts would have been reverse next. So just when we're using those terms for clarity.
Okay. And I get a little confused around reverse next. I mean, I understand obviously it's you're calling next on the color that wasn't Trump. Is there ever a time when it's not reverse? Like, does it matter who passed or who was dealer? Or is it
No,
just
so the suit up is going to define what is what we mean when we say next or reverse next when we're talking about how a hand plays out. So if hearts was passed by everybody in round one of bidding, then diamonds becomes next, and spades and clubs both become reverse next.
Okay, that's where I was confused because next refers to a specific suit because one's been eliminated. Reverse is both. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We got a jack of diamonds showing. I order it. What do you think about that?
I would pass here. I don't think it's a bad order, and to be honest, some leaderboard players will tell you to order this up. I personally don't enjoy doing it because partner is or dealer is almost always going to pick up on a jack if they have even one other card of that suit in their hand. And I think we calculated this out the other day, and there's a 65% probability of them having at least one other card of that suit in their hand. They will pick it up because it's almost always worth a point. So seat two almost never has to order the right bower up to their partner. And looking at your hand, you have a loner in clubs. So I would pass and allow my partner the opportunity to pick this up. You yourself are guarded in case of any other call from opponents, except for hearts. But even with hearts, you have two off aces. So I would pass the jack here in hopes of getting
Okay, and
four points if it came back to me.
that all makes sense. I'll tell you what my thought process was, and maybe won't remain this way, but like basically I just look at my hand and I say like, based on my cards, what do I think the odds of them having a loner is? And if I think that's really low, I order them.
Yep,
Just on the
I think
off
that's
chance that
reasonable.
they turn it down.
Yep, I think that's a reasonable way to play. I just personally don't play that way. That's a style difference. I think I need at least three blockers in my hand to a loner to order my partner up a jack. I basically my thought process is, can I go alone on this hand? If yes, then order it up to my partner. If no, then caution. And the other stratagem I use is, can I reasonably play any other suit if it comes back to me? And if the answer is yes, then I will pass.
And that all makes sense. Did you say I have a loner in clubs here?
Yep, 100%. Did you say how?
Yeah.
Okay. So the right X is going to be worth two tricks on its own, especially going alone, and you have two off aces.
Hmm.
So it's not 100% hit rate loner, but I think a good loner success rate is probably somewhere around 30 to 35%. So you want to be calling loners when you see stuff like this, but basically the way that you play it out is anything they lead into you, you are going to be able to take. If they lead hearts, you take with your 10 of clubs. If they lead diamonds, you take with your ace. If they lead spades, you take with your ace. And then you lead the right bower back and let your aces ride. You'll almost always be scoring at least 1 point if you go alone on this hand. It would take some really, really strange shenanigans to not be scoring at least 1 point here. And the very small chance that you get euchred on it is worth the potential for 4 points. So if I see the right +1 and two off aces in my hand, I'm going alone.
Yeah, especially since the 10 is the same suit as the ace, right? Because that helps a lot. Okay, I get what you're saying. I'm just learning more about like, when I
And
can go alone. It's a little more often than I thought.
also note that if you go alone on clubs here, you already have the information that the jack of diamonds specifically was turned down, and your connected ace is in the diamond suit. So you only have to burn king, queen, nine, or king, queen out of the pool for that 10 to be good. So
True. Okay.
there's less overcards over your theoretically bad card sitting in your hand. Although I don't think it's like a bad card.
Okay, that makes sense. So I order it up. She discards 10 of hearts. No, wait, what does she discard? Nine of spades.
Good discard.
Um, so what do you think about the Queen of Hearts lead here with diamonds being trump?
I don't like it. I think, okay, there's two things here. You want to lead out of the longest suit on the table that you possibly can if you don't have an ace in your hand, I think. So ideally the nine of clubs here, but there is some psychology involved in that. And if you know who you're playing against, a lot of times dealer is really tempted to hold on to next in their hand because they think that people won't lead it just because there's less on the table. So sometimes it can be good if you really want seat two to have to force, if you want to force the issue and get seat two to trump in. I think that leading hearts is a good play here, but I personally would lead the nine of clubs. I don't think it's terrible to lead the queen of hearts, and I think the only truly incorrect decision here is leading a spade. So I don't hate it.
Okay.
I personally wouldn't do it. I don't think it's a bad strategy, but
I see what you're saying. All right, so then I trump in with the 10 of diamonds.
lead
What
your
do you think
ace.
about leading the ace of spades here?
I think it's solid. You're communicating to your partner, hey, I need you for at least one trick. I'm hoping the ace of spades rides here, and then I'm just going to keep leading off into infinity until my partner takes what I need.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like I recently learned to lead back trump a lot more often. I used to play euchre in a really standard way to where I just basically if you don't play a lot, if you just play with friends and family and you don't really look into euchre much, like generally people just kind of hold on to their trump cards, right? Like they're
Yeah,
trying to wait to trump in.
yeah,
That's how I used to play. I didn't ever consider when you lead trump to your partner, it gives them control of the trick and allows them to set the sequence after that, which makes, leading is an advantage on its own because people have to follow suit.
yeah.
But sometimes it bites you. Like, let's say I led the ace of diamonds here. Now my ace of diamonds is ruined, and she burns one of her big trumps, and we have got one trump card left.
Yep.
So to me,
And
it's hard.
because you ordered the right bower up, the only card that you know she has in her hand is the right bower. So if you lead your
Mhm.
ace here, your ace of diamonds, you run the risk of potentially, well, definitely A, stripping all of the trump cards out of your hand, and B, not making any value out of your ace at all because it's potential. I mean, it's low potential, but there is a possibility that your opponents are void in that suit, or that at least one of them will get the lead back later and they're void in that suit. So you run a lot more risk for getting euchred here if you lead a trump. But it's all about assessing your own hand's strengths at the moment. There are a lot of situations where I would lead trump here, and usually if I'm ordering a right bower up to my partner, that's another thing. Like that goes back to what I was talking about when I do that, and it's like, could I realistically lead trump to them here if I need to? And on your hand, you absolutely cannot, which I think is part of what weakens it.
Up. That makes sense. I think it's hopefully we can get into more situations of like when to lead trump. Because
Yeah,
sometimes it's great and sometimes it's terrible. In this case, it would have been terrible.
yeah. So I think this is solid so far. Allows your partner to improve their hand.
Okay. And what about this? I'm leading the
Yeah,
10 of
you
clubs.
you just have to keep leading off. You don't really get to make any more decisions for the rest of this hand. You kind of just have to hope that everything plays out in your favor,
Hmm.
and it does.
Yeah. And so we got them all. Okay, next trick. It's 3-2. 10 of clubs is showing. Pass. Pass. Oh, wait. Cutie Pie orders it up because she's got
I
right
think. Yep,
king, queen.
I think it's a good
That's
order.
a great hand.
Yep.
That's a great hand. What about a loner on that though? I mean, I guess I know if she had an ace of hearts, maybe.
So I have spent a lot of time tracking loners, how often they're called, what their success rates are, from what seats they're most successful. And basically, the conclusion is if your off cards that aren't trump are anything lower than a queen as a high card, you are almost never making your 4 points, but you will march significantly more often for 2 points when you bring your partner along. So this isn't something that I would go for. I think there are certain extenuating circumstances in which I would, like if we were down significantly, then I would probably take a shot at it. But I think here just a simple order up is fine.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because sometimes people do go alone way too much when it's like, hey, sometimes you're probably going to get two. There's almost you're almost no way you're getting 4. So you just now we got 1 point, and that matters, instead
Yep.
of 2.
Yeah, it's a partner's
And you're
game.
right, like I'm finding that if you have 3 trump and then you have just one other suit, and one of them's an ace, that's great. But yeah, you're probably right in your threshold of like queen. Queen seems a little low, but
It is. I still am like a little coin flippy on the queen. I will definitely go on a king, but I think it you run into other questions about strength where like so like my consideration if I run it on a queen, and this is a whole branch off here, so I apologize for that. But if like my kicker, so my offsuit is a queen or a king, my consideration is how strong is my trump suit. So if I've got like both bowers in my hand plus one more, that's generally good enough for me to attempt a queen or a king loner. But if I'm sitting on like this after he leads, like if he goes alone or she, sorry, and she tries to take trick 1 here, there's a potential that she gets over trumped by dealer because you're still missing the ace in the left off of the table. And if you do, it's just absolute disaster and you get euchred immediately. So if you have both of the jacks, it kind of protects you from some of those scenarios. So, um, yeah.
okay, got it. So let's play this one out, see what happens.
Yep. Love
Well,
that lead.
yeah, because my thought is like, I want to see here, just here it is. Like now you can throw your worst trump, right?
Yep. So there's been a lot of discussion from leaderboard players about what to lead here when your partner orders up from seat 3. If you have a high trump and a low trump, do you lead high or do you lead low? Absolutely big fan of leading high when you have 2 trump in your hand, or if you have like off aces that you can lead next. Otherwise, if you've just got garbage, I lead low and allow my partner to take it with the right so that they have control over the hand and they can play it the way that they want to. I think it's a good signal to them. Really, really hate your partner taking it with the right here. I think that they should have just Yep, I think that they should have just let it go because their Jack 10 of hearts is really bad. So ultimately, what did they lead next year? My guess is they're going to lead the king because they see that the king is high, but all they're going to do is strip that out of your hand. You could have played this together as a team a little bit better and potentially gone for 2 points here. I'd have to do a little bit of playing it out in my head, but yeah. Partner, when they see the left on trick 1 here and their hand looks like this, they should always be throwing off one of their lower trump to allow you to retain control of the hand.
Yeah, and in this case, my hand's pretty bad, but I still think your theory makes the most
Yep.
sense.
Your hand's pretty bad, but their hand is pretty good because they're 2 suited. So they've got if they allow you to retain the lead, you have options here. You can either lead another trump back to them. I don't think that I would in this case because seat 3 ordering is so weak that I assume that they have the remaining 2 trump in their hand because now we've accounted for 4 plus 1 in your hand is 5 out of 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I would lead off on trick 2 here if I were you and I retained the control of the hand, and you have 2 options for leading off in which your partner can trump in and then lead a heart, which ultimately you will lose based on the distribution here, but I think it's just better general policy for an attempt at a march for your partner to let you keep it.
Yeah, it makes sense because I think in her mind she's thinking, well, we have 3, but yeah, why not try to get 5?
Yep.
So
Yep.
she
And that's
leads the
exactly what I
king,
thought was going to
pulls out my
happen.
9. Yeah.
And now she's going to lead queen to try and get information out of you, and it's not going to matter. Yep.
Yeah. And
That's right,
so we got
though.
3 out of 5 there.
Sometimes in games, you take your point, and I think it could have been handled a little bit better. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters at all based on the distribution. You were always getting 1 point on that, but it could have been played for a potential at 2. Could have taken 4 tricks instead of 3.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. In that specific scenario, yeah, but in others, we might have been able to get them all.
Yeah.
All right, so King of Diamonds is showing. He's got the right, and he's ordering me up here. What do you think about that?
I think that is terrible. Sorry, I'm just gonna call that one like it is.
It's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
There is absolutely no reason to do that because if you call hearts here in round two with that seat, you will always be getting at least 1 point.
Yeah, that's a great
There
hand in
is
hearts.
absolutely no way that you get euchred on a hearts call, and there are so many ways that you get euchred on a diamonds call. You can just be patient and wait for round two here because you have diamonds covered if the opposing team wants it. So at worst, you're giving up 1 point, in which case they would have always gotten 1 point. But instead of enemies getting 1 point now, they're getting two because you ordered it up on a really, really weak hand.
Yeah, and they would have had an amazing hand in hearts because she's got the right over there.
Yep, it's even a hand in hearts that I would consider going alone on from seat one, which I know might contradict something that I said before, but there's so much loner theory out there. And from seat one, your kicker can be a little bit lower and you can afford it. Yeah, I just, yeah, diamonds here is not a good play from seat one.
That makes sense. I agree. Let's see how it plays out. So, first of all, what do you think about him leading the Ace of Hearts?
Really, really bad. I think
Yeah,
because,
because there's not many hearts.
yep, there are only 5 hearts on the table now. You're holding three, and sometimes this is a really good lead. Like if he was sitting on the right bower plus one other diamond, I would probably lead off here and play that ace of hearts. So if that nine of spades was a nine of diamonds instead. But because the only trump card he has in his hand is the right bower, and he is the maker of trump, he needs to be leading that right to strip as many from the table as early as possible so that his ace has a chance of going around the table.
Mm-hmm. So then, yeah, he gets trumped over. I lead the 10 of clubs. What do you think about
Yep,
that?
I think that's reasonable. All
Yeah,
right.
because I mean, leading a trump just seems silly in this situation, right? That's all I could really do is lead the 10 of clubs.
If your opponents order you up, you have to assume that they're strong, and regardless of your hand strength, which is pretty strong, you're still playing defense here because you want to score your 2 points now. You're going for a euchre, so leading off and playing defensively is the better move.
What do you think about this lead? I guess it makes sense.
I think so.
Lead the left?
So this is the problem is when seat one orders up in round one, you expect their hand to be strong. You have to expect them to have more than one trump card in their hand. So as seat three here, this Jack King of Spades might be worth a trick on the last two if somebody else is holding a Spades doubleton that has the lead, or maybe like the Ace of Spades is buried. So that's worth like probably a half a trick there. I would always lead the left to my partner here just to let them know that it's off the table now. I mean, given the current holdings, it's a stellar lead, but it's not like in standard higher level play. I don't think that Jack of Spades lead is ever correct, just because you have to believe that your partner is calling up on something other than just the right power. But let's watch it play out. Okay, there's another mistake. You're going for a euchre here, and if you had picked up this card on your own merit, you wouldn't be leading diamonds out at all, and you would want your partner to be able to take as many tricks for you as possible. So when seat three leads out a low spade, you want to give them an opportunity. You want to give your partner an opportunity to take a trick for you, because again, it is a partner's game. So this is a situation in which I would have thrown off my club instead of trying to take that trick so that my partner had an opportunity.
Okay, that makes sense. And it would have worked out better had I done that, right? Because then he would not have thrown his right on it, and she probably would have ended up playing, well, yeah, she would have ended up playing the Queen of Spades. I don't know, he would have been in a tough spot. Like, let's say I threw off on this. You think he's just gonna throw off, knowing that,
No, but
the
no,
Jack of Spades is,
he's probably not. Maybe like his only trump card is the right bower.
yeah.
So in his mind, he wants to get as much value out of that right bower as possible, which now kind of sucks because he didn't lead it on first. So he's going to look for an opportunity to take another trump card for it. So if you duck, he might not throw the right bower, but even if he does, you still keep both of your diamonds in your hand, and you want to keep as many trump cards in your hand as you can, because you don't, I mean, you don't know what's left on the table. Almost none of the trump cards have been played so far.
So did
Yeah,
we get? No, they get a point
they did get their
somehow.
point. Yeah, I think there was this. To me, it looks like a kind of a comedy of errors on that hand that ended up working out in their favor. But
Yeah, like but if I had not thrown the queen of diamonds here, we would probably euchre them, right? I mean,
you definitely have a much higher potential to euchre them, yes, because let's just play it out the way that I would if I was sitting in each of these seats. If you lay off and play your queen of clubs on the jack of spades and dealer, if I see that, I'm probably laying off as well, because the rest of my cards are so bad and I need my partner to take another trick for me. So I'm gonna keep the lead as close to them as possible and allow them to do what they need to do. So I would have laid off there instead of playing the right bower, and then seat two would have taken it with the queen of spades. And then if I was sitting in seat two, I haven't seen any diamonds led yet. I'm getting a little suspicious. So I would lead the ace of diamonds after I took with the queen of spades. And since dealer's sitting on two more diamonds in his hand and both of your opponents only have one, it burns both of the jacks, and now you've got your three tricks and you euchre them.
yep, that would have been great. Okay, next hand. You would have passed on this, right?
Yep, good passes
I
from
mean,
everybody
yeah.
so far. Hearts is better for you. You're not strong enough to be able to order that up into dealer's hand from seat three, so
She makes it clubs,
not bad.
leads the right. I would have led the right here.
I question that. I would have let off.
Okay, why?
This is a lot of. So when you have a hand like right king nine, and then your offsuits are so bad like this, your trump cards are generally like, if you lead the right, you are basically announcing to the table, my hand is only worth two tricks, because you're not going to pull everything that you want to pull. You don't know where the left bower is. It could be guarded, and in this case, it is by an opponent. But you have a much higher potential of taking every trick if you lead off here, and it gives your partner the most opportunity to help you, because you're not pulling trump cards out of your partner's hand. And potentially, if you lead off here, your hand is worth three tricks. I think it gets a lot more valuable, because then you know you're getting value from your nine later, because you can just trump back in on a heart suit anyway. So I would throw off here to give the onus to my partner. I forget what was passed. I think diamonds was passed, so I would probably lead a spade out, just because it's
Why does
the.
that matter? Because in my head, I'm thinking diamond because there's more of them.
No, so diamonds was passed. So there's the same number of diamonds on the table as there are spades, because the jack of spades gets pulled into the club suit. So that's -1 from spades, and a diamond was passed, so that's -1 from diamonds. So there are currently 5 diamonds and 5 spades on the table, and both of your
Okay.
opponents passed on diamonds, which tells me that they probably don't have very many diamonds between them. So I think your best chance of catching them is by leading the spade and hoping that your partner
Mhm.
is able to either trump in or holds the ace.
In which case, yeah, she would have led the nine of spades. She would have played the king of spades. I would have played a ten of clubs, and then uh, seat four dealer would have trumped over me. No,
No,
no, they don't have any trumps, so we would have
correct.
taken that trick.
Yep. And then you
Yeah.
would and then you would lead a club back to your partner, and the club that you get to lead back to your partner is the ace. So then they get to decide, do I want to duck my partner's ace here in an effort to get the left off of the table or see if it's buried, or do I want to play my right bower now? So they get to lead their right bower eventually anyway. I wouldn't do it on trick one, because it hurts my partner's chances of helping me out.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That would have played a lot better. Let's see how this plays out. Now she throws a diamond.
Yep. As we just discussed, I don't think diamonds is correct. I think spades is the better lead here, because your opponents are telling you that they're kind of bad, and they're bad in diamonds.
Which means they're going to trump in, right?
Obviously, they don't have the
She
opportunity to
somehow
trump
took
in
it.
here. You got kind of unlucky that the queen rode, but it is what it is.
Yep. What do you think about her leading the king of spades? I mean, it makes sense, right? Because she thinks, no, the right's gone. So I don't know.
This one's a little 50-50. You get more euchres if you lead the left because you're stripping trump. You don't really know what c3 is sitting on. In this case, POV. So I think I think though there's a lot of theory behind next and reverse next here. And when seat one calls reverse next in round two, they're generally going to have to be pretty strong in it because the implication when a red suit is passed is that the defenders, so in this case, seat one and seat three, are going to be stronger in the other red suit. So if you're planning on calling black, you need to be able to take more tricks than average. You need to have like probably 2.5 or somewhere around 3 guaranteed in your hand to be able to make that a safe call. Seat two is sitting on that information. They probably know dealer is sitting on at least 2 more clubs, especially given the low lead on trick 2. So I don't hate the king of spades lead here. I think that your partner should have led spades for you earlier in the hand, like I already said, but you know, it's
So
good.
I take that
Yep. I would lead the king of hearts here.
instead of the jack, lead the king. Yeah. I mean, I guess it in case there's no ace out there.
Yep. And you're not going to be taking the last trick here anyway. So you just want to play your strongest card.
Okay.
Squeaked it
Did
out.
we get Euchre's here? No, no, yeah, we did. We did get 1 point. Okay. Yeah. All right, next hand, we got club showing pass. I order it up.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Totally standard.
You would order it?
Yep.
Okay.
Ace of spades. I
What do you
like the
think about
lead.
that?
I like it.
Okay.
As I discussed before, I think if you've got an ace in your hand, you should be leading it on trick one. The other option here is to lead a club because they're sitting on 2 clubs plus an ace. It kind of throws a kink into seat two's plans because seat two can order up on some lighter stuff. So you kind of force them into making errors if you lead a club here. But I think like the better overall play is just leading your ace.
Okay.
Yep, pretty reasonable. Yep, everything played pretty well that hand. No comment.
What do you think about picking that up?
Good order. If you're sitting on the right +1, you should pretty much always be picking it up. I would have gotten rid of the queen of
And
spades. I wouldn't discard the diamond because there are fewer diamonds on the table. So you're more likely to be able to utilize your queen of trump to trump in on a black suit than a red suit. So you just want to avoid yourself in a black suit if you can.
yeah, okay, let's go over that slower because that's something I've been doing lately too. Because it's funny how long I played it, and I never even thought about like, oh, when you make something trump, you take 1 card away from the other suit. It changes the odds. Just like you mentioned, like when a card gets turned down on the kitty, well, that's also 1 less card in that suit as well. So what you're saying here is since hearts are trump, there are less diamonds. So you would have gotten rid of the spade because there's more chance that there's spades out there, right?
Yep, your queen of trump is not very high. You're gonna really need your opponents to either need to play it on a suit that your opponents have a lot of cards in, or you're going to need to get really lucky. And I think the first option is a little bit more consistent. So the jack of diamonds is taken out of the pool, so now there's only the 10-9 of diamonds beneath that queen, and there's just as many overcards on both of them. I think that it's better to just get rid of get rid of the queen of spades. There's more cards in that suit on the table. If somebody leads a spade, you're a lot more likely to be able to trump in on it than you are on a diamond safely. So I would just, and as you see, look at your hand. You have no diamonds in it. It's because it's so rare on the table now because it was made trump that, and seat two doesn't have any diamonds either.
Hmm.
So yeah, you need to be getting rid of the longest suit in your hand if you have the option between two singletons of equal
Okay, yeah.
value.
Yeah, so get rid of the longest suit. Let me know if you see anything. All good?
Wait. Hold on. Go back. I think I might have missed something there. Oh no, that was the ace of spades. Okay. Nine, ace of spades.
Led the ace of clubs and led the nine of spades.
Yep. Ace of spades, king of spades. Yep. Very standard. Yep. I like that. Yep. Other
And they
notes.
got a point.
Yep. Pretty reasonable. Just didn't like the discard very
Okay,
much.
next. Yep. No, it was good commentary on the Discord though, because a lot of people look at that and be like, "Oh, it doesn't matter at all." Actually, it matters.
Whoa.
He orders this up. This is crazy. I remember this.
This is a donation. It has to be.
It's it's just I don't know what he was thinking. But so essentially, he's got the queen of clubs. He orders the king of clubs into my hand. Luckily, his partner actually has right nine.
Yeah, so as we discussed
We've got ace.
before, seat three is sitting on a club's loner in their hand. This is a hand that I would go alone on.
Hmm.
So it works out for him here, but just on donations real quick, the most dangerous spot is when a jack is up and you are holding one trump card in your hand as seat one. It is seat one's responsibility to donate if they don't think that they have a loner covered and if they fear their opponent scoring 4 points. So usually this is done at scores where you have 9 and your opponents are within loner range of victory, so you can afford to give up some points. So scores like where you're up 9-6, 9-7, even sometimes up like 8-4, you don't want the game to be tied. That kind of spot. There's no real reason to donate when the score is 6-4, because even if the dealer does go alone and makes it, it's still very comebackable. And also, a jack is not showing, so there isn't really like a high risk of dealer going alone here. I don't think there's any reason to donate this, and I can't think of another reason that he would have ordered it up except to donate.
So basically, it's a bad order, but we'll still see how he
All
plays
right,
out.
all
So
right.
king of diamonds.
Note there. When you donate, it is generally good policy to lead the trump suit. This is because your partner could be covered in the trump suit, and you could actually eke out some points here. And you see that this is the case on this specific hand, where a partner is 100% covered, and you would get your point regardless if you let out trump. So when you donate, lead the trump suit. You're already kind of playing for -2 points here, but leading trump gives you the best opportunity to get your 1 point even on a donate.
Okay, yeah, and that's because like it would make any aces or whatever good.
Yep. It improves your partner's hand, and there's always the possibility that they can play it.
Just stop me if you see anything.
Okay, seat one orders. Seat three should always be playing the right bower here after they take the first trick because they've got aces and they want to improve their aces. So
Yeah.
you want to lead the right bower here just to let your partner know that you have it. And also, if you are going to choose to lead an ace, you should lead the ace in the longest suit. So in this case, you know that there are 5 spades on the table because clubs was called, so the jack is gone again, and 2 of them are in your hand. So there are only 3 other spades on the table. That ace of hearts has a significantly higher chance of running around the table and getting an extra trick. There's no reason to lead a spade here. And if you do lead a spade because your ace and king are connected, lead the king because sometimes dealer will be like, My partner might have the ace. I can duck this to improve my hand and let it go around the table.
Interesting. I never actually thought about that. But the main thing here is definitely lead the right because then your aces have less opportunity of being trumped.
Yep. So my order of play here, if I'm seat 3, is I lead the right bower, then the ace of hearts, and then the king of spades.
Hmm. Okay, but she throws the ace of spades. I trump it with the king of clubs. I lead ace of diamonds.
Yep. Pretty standard. I would have taken with the right bower there.
King of
I
hearts, she
think,
would have. Wait,
and go
she
back.
can't though because she's.
Yep. Go back. Back. Yep. Keep going back. There you go. So he leads out the ace of spades. It gets over trumped. Unfortunately, it keeps going, and then you lead out the ace of diamonds, and watch what happens here. It takes with the queen of clubs, takes with the left. Yep, should have taken this with the right bower. You're getting the left, and you're getting a trump out of your partner, and you have an ace to lead back. You should always be taking with the right bower here if you hadn't earlier. But
Yeah, that was crazy.
this is,
I don't know. That had to be a misplay.
yeah, he probably saw the jack of spades and forgot that it was a trump card, and played the king of spades to improve his hand even further. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. But yeah, I would have laid the right on that if I hadn't already played it earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that was probably an accident. But yeah, and so they ended up getting euchred probably because of that particular play
There were a
right there.
few ways to avoid the euchre here. The first mistake is not leading trump on a donation. The second mistake is not leading the right bower to improve your aces, and the third mistake is leading the ace of spades when you have a much cleaner suit in your hand.
Okay. Those are good observations. I like that. That one was helpful, as ugly as that hand was. Did I just skip through this? This is that hand, right? No. Yeah, it is. Okay. New hand. I order it up. What do you think?
I'd pass. My criteria here for an order from seat 3, because the position of the seat is so weak, is I need at least 2 cards over the card that I'm ordering up, and I need to have at least 4 points in my hand. The point system that I personally run is the right bower is worth 2 points. Any other trump cards are worth 1 point, and any aces are worth a point, and 2 suited is worth a point. So
Okay.
based on that system, you have 3 points in your hand, which I don't think is enough to order up to your opponents, and you only have 1 card over the card that you're ordering up, so you are at high risk of getting euchred here, especially because your offsuits are bad. You cannot guarantee that any of those cards will ride.
Yeah, it is a pretty weak order. We'll see how it plays out.
Yep. Really bad lead. If your partner orders from seat 3, always lead trump to them. You want to improve their hand. If you don't have trump, then you want to lead the cleanest suit that you have, barring an ace.
She got lucky and took it with that.
Yep. And then she leads.
Again, you probably would have led trump.
Yep.
We got lucky on that one too.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I think I would have done that if I were you. At that point in the hand, I'm assuming my partner doesn't have any trump, so I want to keep my ace guarded for the potential of taking another trick. So I actually don't think that's bad.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I haven't had we seen any of the Bowers yet? I don't think so.
Nope, we haven't seen any trump cards yet. So there goes the card you put in his hand. You get another trick. And seeing that heart come out of your partner's hand. Yep. Seeing that heart come out of your partner's hand on the last trick is really disappointing, but it ended up working out. So I think it was a weak order, and a couple of misplays ended up making it work.
Yep. What do you think about this?
I like it.
I'm ordering it up and I have the right. Okay.
I like it a lot. I think I order up from seat 2 with the right bower and any off ace. I think it's strong enough, especially when you're at 9 points. You're looking to close out the game. I think it's good enough. Good lead.
Stop me if you see anything. What do you think about leading the king of diamonds there, though?
I probably would have led trump into my partner, even if it is an ace. It just sets you up for a lot more euchre opportunities if you don't lead trump to the person who made it. Sometimes there are some. If your partner that ordered you up takes a trick with a trump card and then leads off, that's them telling you, I do not want you to lead trump into me unless it improves your hand significantly. So in that case, after I've already gotten that information from my partner, I would avoid leading trump. But if my partner's ordering up to me and I don't have that information, I'm leading to them as soon as I possibly can.
Hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and had she led the ace, we would have gotten rid of the left and
Well,
his
you would have gotten rid of the
nine.
10 of clubs. Yep, and so he would still have a guarded left, but then you would be able to lead an ace back here, and you guys would have maintained the lead. And the lead is really, really important. Love the king lead. So that was what I was talking about before. When you have the connected king nine, sometimes the king is worth a trick. I love leading it out there and seeing.
Hmm.
All right, I would have ducked that.
So she throws the king of hearts, I throw the right. You would have thrown the queen of diamonds.
We already know that hearts has been played around the table, so that the king is the boss card of its suit, but it's pretty likely that nobody has any left. And to be honest with you, I haven't been paying enough attention in this specific hand to know if we know that dealer was void or not yet. But I would duck this because you don't know where the left bower is. Your partner can still win a trick for you, and if you play the right bower and your opponents have the left, you're screwed anyway. So your only chance now at making a point is your partner taking another trick for you, and the only way that can happen is right here. So I would
Yeah,
lay
you're
off.
right. Yep, and this is what got us Euchre right here. Yep, ended up getting Euchre on that one. It's a good call. So, well, did I know she had the ace? Or was the ace what she picked up? No, she picked up a queen, but I still needed to throw off there, knowing that the left was still out there.
And if your partner had the left bower in their hand, they probably would have led the left. Regardless of their skill level, everybody knows that the left is pretty good. And if your partner orders you up trump, leading the left is, I think, something anybody's going to do regardless of their rating. So you can be pretty reasonably certain your partner doesn't have the left in their hand here, but they might have another trump for you. And so your only real shot at not getting euchred here is laying off and hoping your partner takes it for you. It's kind of a bad spot because your partner didn't lead to you earlier, but if they had, you would have gotten euchred. So kind of a 50-50. It's a good order. It's not perfect. Sometimes it gets euchred, but that's the game.
Exactly. If it's, there are certain times where people get mad and it's like, well, yeah, you get Euchre on that hand sometimes, but I still think it's a good
Yep.
order.
Okay, pause.
Um,
You passed here. So remember what I was saying about donations.
mhm.
When you're up like 9-6, you're scared of your opponents closing out the game. This is a spot where I would donate because I'm only holding one trump card. I'm only covered in one suit, which is clubs, and it's a really long suit. So it's pretty unlikely that those clubs are actually good. So this is a situation in which I would donate the ace to the dealer and I would lead out the king of diamonds.
Okay, so yeah, just so anyone doesn't know, he's talking about just you're ordering it up knowing you're going to get Euchre to prevent them from getting 4 points. I find that crazy. I've never done it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just new to me, and I'm like, it feels so gambly. Like, what are the odds that someone actually has alone and gets them all?
Yeah, so the odds here for them going alone are not great, especially given the ace up card. But you're up 9 points to six, and you can almost be guaranteed of getting a point on your deal. I think the stats are it's like a 67%. So you have a 2 out of 3 chance of scoring a point on your deal. So the worst case here, if you donate, is they get 2 points, and now the score goes to 9-8, but it's your deal. So you're pretty likely to be able to score a point on your next hand. And I think it's really valuable to just say, look, I'm not letting the game get closed out here. I have a really high chance of closing it out on my next hand. So I'm just going to donate this, and we're going to lose 2 points on it. But I'm counting on next hand being able to score something and just ending the game for myself, and I'm not going to risk losing.
All right, let's go on.
I would have led the left there from dealer. Partner orders you up. You have an ace in your hand, so leading trump makes your ace better. You have a way to recover the lead. And I lead the left specifically so that my partner knows that they ordered the ace of diamonds into dealer's hand. So you lead the left here so that partner knows they don't have to play the right on top of the left to secure the trick. Partner still has the ace of diamonds for later, and it improves dealer's ace.
Yep, yep.
Wait, go back? Go back again to trick 2? Why would seat 2 trump over their partner's ace?
I don't know.
Yeah, can't
I don't know what
explain
he
that
was
one.
thinking there.
I wouldn't ever do that. I don't like it. I don't think there's any reason to do that. But again, this could have been avoided if dealer had just led the left bower instead. So
True. Yeah, I guess he's worried that they're gonna take it. He doesn't. He made a when he ordered it. Let's see.
but even if he's worried that seat 3 takes it, there's still the king of diamonds that's unaccounted for. So and the left bower from seat 2's perspective, they don't know where either of those cards is. They only know that partner is still holding on to the ace of diamonds. So if you try taking your partner's ace with the queen here, it's pretty likely that seat 3 can over trump that. There's not really any reason to do it. And you see on their next lead that they're not leading the right bower, so there wasn't really a game plan there.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. So the whole hand ends up really just playing out kind of weird because everything went in a very strange way.
I mean, they got their 2 points anyway, but it could have been a lot cleaner. There was no reason for this to play out the way that it did.
So they get their two
And
there. It's 8-9.
yeah,
Go ahead.
pass, standard
Go ahead.
pass. No, just keep, you
Okay.
can keep going. Yep, good order from seat 3 there.
Okay, yeah, she's got a good hand.
We were talking about point systems and ordering from seat 3, so they have the right bower, which is 2 points, 2 more trump, which is 2 more points, and an off ace, which is another point. So a total of 5 points in their hand out of the 4 required. So they're very likely to score a point here when they order up. Good order.
Are you probably leading the left here?
From seat 1? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Partner orders trump, just lead it to them. No reason not to.
Yep. hmm And the reason being, right, is just so that you don't end up playing the left and the right at the same time. And right now they have, all they still have the most trump cards that they're ever going to have, so they have an opportunity to throw their worst one, right? Or if they wanted to, they could take it with the right. I don't think that would make sense, but
No.
yeah.
Look what happens.
They end up getting the point anyway. Is probably the last hand here. It's got to be at 9-9, I guess. Pass. I order it. What do you think about that?
I'm ordering from seat 2 here. I wouldn't have even let it get to you. It's the last hand. It's 9-9, so you're going to be playing some marginal hands here, but they have 2 trump cards and an ace in their hand. You only really need 3 trumps when you're on offense and ordering, or 3 points when you're on offense and ordering into your partner's hand. I would have just ordered that from seat 2 to prevent this whole thing. But sitting in seat 3, I probably would have passed this and trust my partner to call diamonds. But based on the play so far, I don't know how much you can expect standard calls.
Yeah, so this is just, my family. They're casual euchre players. My sister's been playing more lately. But anyway, so I'm confused here though. So from seat 1, you're saying you're going to order this?
No, from seat 2.
Like here. Yes, okay. That makes more sense. And why though? Because it
Okay.
feels a little weak to me.
It looks weak. It is. I don't know what the actual percentage is on this hand. I would estimate it to only score positive points about 60% of the time. It does get euchred fairly often, but I mean, just think about it from a point management perspective. You're on the last hand of the game, so you want to be just calling the best hand that you have available to you. And in this case, it's hard for them because what happens if dealer passes on this? seat 1 passes, and it's back to seat 2. I mean, what do you call? You've lost all agency in the hand, and you're leaving it up to fate, basically. So ordering up here signals to your partner that you have some strength in the ordered suit. It also tells your opponents that you're probably sitting on something good because they don't expect you to call on a marginal hand like this. And really, 2 trump plus an outside ace is, if we go back to the point system that I was talking about before, to order from seat 2 or seat 2 or dealer in round 1, you only need 3 points because you are on offense and you get the advantage of dealer having a discard. And this meets the 3-point criteria because they have 2 trump cards and an off ace in their hand. So it's not great. It looks a little messy, but it's also not bad. So I would just be ordering it here. I don't hate your order here either. I think using the same rationale, it's not bad. If I was sitting in seat 1, I would call diamonds instead of clubs. I know seat 1's probably going to want to call clubs here if it comes back to them, but I would discipline myself and call diamonds just because next is a good policy. But that's a whole lot of higher level game theory that we don't need to get into.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know, this is, for me, it was just like a tough spot. I'm like, it's 9-9. Like, I don't love Jack 9 ace right now, king into his hand, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess I could have hoped that they turned it down and then my partner had something good, but for me, I was like, no, I want to just try
yeah.
to get a point here.
It's not necessarily bad. I don't hate the order. I think it's nice and aggressive. Bad lead. Again, we discussed. Yeah,
So what should she have led here?
if your partner orders from seat 3, lead trump to them. Just lead trump. I cannot stress that enough. That is costing so many points in this game not leading trump on partner orders. Just lead trump. So, yeah, if seat 3 orders, just lead it to them. They're telling you they're strong. They want the hand. You need to just trust that they're good in the suit. Don't hold on to it. Just let them have it.
And that means if you're ordering from C3, you should make sure your hand is good because you're expecting your partner to lead trump to you. And if it's
Yes.
not, then you're going to burn through your trump.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that helps clarify the situation of when to lead trump to your partner. And that actually makes me realize I've made some bad C3 calls. And then like my dad will lead trump to me, and I'm like, I was calling kind of thin. I was hoping we could squeak this out, and then we get euchred.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So like, don't make weak calls from C3.
Another note that's worth mentioning here is if your partner did lead trump to you because they led the ace, the only other card on the table, because you're holding the right in your hand that's over it, is the left. And because this hand is so marginal, I would actually duck my partner's ace if they led to me here. So if they lead out the ace of hearts, I'm playing the 9 of hearts on it instead of the right bower. I know the temptation is to take it and then lead out the ace afterwards, but I think you have a better just ducking it and letting the ace try to ride.
That's interesting. I mean, you're basically gambling that fast bar over here, C4, doesn't have the left.
Yep, absolutely a gamble.
If they do have the left, if they do have the left, then you just sucked up, the queen of hearts or the 10 of hearts and the left. If they only had the left, right? Yeah, that's it. That's a tough one. I see what you're saying.
Yep, it's a gamble, but I think it's your best path to a point here.
But like, if she had just led the ace here, I think we would have not have lost this game. Because like, look, ace of hearts, 10 of hearts. Let's say I do throw my jack of hearts and I don't duck it. He throws his king. There's nothing left except for the queen and the 9.
Nope, you lose on hearts no matter how this plays out.
Okay. So he takes it with the king, leads the ace of diamonds.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It's just like, this is why C3 calls are so tough, because your partner passing on it already tells you that they're weak in the suit, so they're not going to be very much help to you. C2 passing does also communicate that they're weak, but yeah, you always get set on hearts based on this card distribution in this hand, so.
Yep, and then we lost. I think the biggest thing for me is that I learned in this hour, by the way, thanks a lot, was actually like you should have a strong hand when calling from seed 3, and that seed 3 calls are super risky. And if your partner makes it from seed 3, and which would make you seat 1, sorry, then you should be leading trump to your partner.
Yep. So the hierarchy of leads when your partner orders from seat 3 is A, lead trump. If you don't have trump, lead an ace, and if you don't have an ace, lead the longest suit on the table. And that means the suit that has the most potential cards in it on the table. So a simple rule of thumb, trump suit has 7 cards, next suit has 5 cards, and the other 2 suits, reverse next, have 6 cards in them, barring any other information that you gain at the table. So generally you want to lead a singleton from a green suit or a reverse next.
Okay.
Same thing.
I appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot. That was super helpful analysis. Also, thanks for,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I've got a lot of other stuff to do today. I'm getting married in a couple of days, and we're just kind of like prepping for the wedding and the honeymoon right now. So I do kind of need to go. But if you want to do a little bit of a closeout, that's fine.
Just that's it. If you got to go, you got to go. Thanks a lot. You're welcome to drop off. Appreciate your time. Super helpful.
Yeah, absolutely not a problem, man. I hope it was educational, and I hope you're able to piece something together for this. Good luck.
It was super educational. It's going to help. Thank you. All right. Pineapple's left, so there's not really much left for me to say here, just except for if you want to check out this feature on Euchre.Club, you just go to Euchre.Club and you click on the little camera icon, and then you can view anybody's games. It shows you their ranking if they have one, and you can filter by their username. So you can look up different people and you can watch higher level players and step through their games and see how they play. So I can step through anybody's game here. I'm already viewing from Pineapples, but I could view it from Mike if I wanted to. And you have keyboard shortcuts and you can jump through with your arrow keys and all that stuff. It's kind of hard to figure out how to get out of here. If you want to go back to the replays, you click that camera icon. But thanks for watching. Jump on Euchre.Club and try a few games out. See you guys later.